If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Who should I show my poem to next? Bae, obviously. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Huh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. Ooh, he's gonna hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Haha. Yuri takes a breath. So... Oh, Monica? Yeah, she always has her, little tip of the day after she reads your poem. What kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Well, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at the poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. Traces her finger along the words of the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is both the style and the expression are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity from her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? I believe this is the poem she wrote in the first route. Ghost under the light, the tendrils of my heart, tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm's breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I actually do like that poem. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting's pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I hope. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Ooh, actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Gray. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all of this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Gray. Me too. Who should I show my poem to next? I guess. Gray, if you're not gonna take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? Yes, I do. I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're so proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Yeah, I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It really helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into this than I realized. Wasn't that someone else's poem? No, that was the Sundaries. It's the same poem she had in the original route. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? God, I hate you. Yeah, I guess not. I just had to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Phew. I guess that's everyone. Everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, and the music's fucking up again. That's great. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monika's writing something on her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Hey, what up, Psychedelic? Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Do you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess? I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't need to come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. Humph. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Gray did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I didn't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Gray liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Huh? That's not what I... Oh... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Gray appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I'd deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Oh. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Gray started joining. Natsuki!
Natsuki, that's a little...
This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on a... on others like that. You really act as long as... You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking, you wanna be edgy bitch. Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. So this argument is like a billion times more intense than it was in the first route. And I think part of that is because Sayori, like, broke him up in the first one, and obviously she's dead now, so she can't do that. Whoa, be careful, you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Although I'm pretty sure she does, because in the first route there's a point where, like, you come in and she had her sleeve up and she throws it down, and so it's kind of suspicious. Yeah, go on. Let Gray hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri toward me, as if she just noticed I was standing there. Gray, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. Right then? Well, we're gonna skip right past those text boxes. I don't know what it said. I don't know what it said. It's the Sundoki? Yeah, that's the Sundoki. So, assuming that this choice is the same as the first route, I would pick Yuri, and then that would mean I'm siding with her. But it's different. because